Oh yeah, we're back, and in this episode, the Motorola flip phone is back! Yeah! Oh yeah, you didn't see that one coming this whole episode. We're going to talk about the Motorola flip phone coming to you.
Yeah. I cannot wait until you put a pie in it. I'm
I'm putting a
serious.
pie in it. We're going to mod it right away.
It's gonna be
Actually,
so great.
you know, it's kind of funny is since we are talking about CES, this thing actually looks really cool. To me, like, it's got all the modern apps and it's like the old school Motorola flip phone. And you know, all of you guys had this phone at some point. And you know, you kind of did the cool, like, hey, what's up, girl? And you flipped it
So
up.
I'm wondering, has enough time gone by that this is kind of nostalgic? Actually, I know
think
a few
so.
people that would
It's
totally
retro
get
now.
this.
Yeah, it's retro now.
I
Totally.
have this one friend, and he's like head of security for this company, and he still has a flip phone. Like it's the same
Yeah, but
flip phone
he doesn't
from
have
early 2000s.
this flip phone. I
That's
mean,
true.
it does look cool though. Like you can't tell me that doesn't actually look pretty cool.
It does. You're kind of,
I
you
mean, you got
know,
to deal with the, the not, the keyboard not having all the letters or whatever. But what was it? T9? Was it T9 predictive text or whatever? It was actually pretty decent. I don't know if you remember that. It was called
oh
T9, I
yeah,
think. Yeah,
yeah, I remember
but it was
T9.
good. Like it actually worked pretty good. Like you could bang out a text pretty quick with this thing. So, anyways,
Yeah.
that's actually going to be at CES. I just thought that was interesting, but it's
Well, we'll check
back.
it out. That's for sure.
Yeah. So what's been going on? I would just obviously I had a very good holiday because I got engaged. So that was pretty cool.
Congrats, man.
Yeah, that was awesome. So classic Kim, I locked her down. So or she locked me down. I don't know, whichever
One
one
of the
to
two.
call it. Yeah. So what about you? What have you been working on, and how was your holiday?
Uh, yeah, everything went pretty good. I had some time off. I was able to invest some more time into the Home Arcade Deals website. So I finally, got some time to be able to add. Let's see, we got Target integration.
Nice.
Um, let's see what else. Amazon. So there's some new features to the site. So sometimes there's products that's like only Amazon. So I can show those right on the front page.
Yeah.
And a good example is like I talked to Glenn from Glenn's Retro Show, and I said, hey, it would be really cool to promote your product on my site. I get a lot of people that come to the site that probably don't know about his products.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, go for it. So he's got a special spot. And then, in fact, like under the 12-in-1, it's like, here's the 12-in-1 that you can pick up from Walmart. And underneath
And it
it's,
goes.
it's
That's
Glenn
cool.
Spinner. So I'll have that update out. It's done. I just got to do some testing on
Nice.
it. And I really reworked a lot of the sites so that it allows me to expand even more. So Sam's Club is coming, Best Buy is coming, GameStop
Nice.
is coming.
Well, I know people will
Just-
want Sam's Club so they can kind of keep track of the Legends Ultimate, since that's not available right now, right? It's all sold out everywhere. So
That's right.
yeah.
And what was really cool about that was I didn't notice this until it's hard. There's just so many products available, right? It's hard to keep track. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I put this site together, because even when I did it, I started realizing, did you know that Target has Galaga, a countercade Galaga? Like I overlooked that. Like
I know that.
I don't
Yeah.
think you can get it anywhere else. So I have that set up. That's a Target only. But then like right now, TMNT, no, hold on. The Marvel cabinet is cheaper at Target. Target still has that $250 price.
Yeah.
And Walmart went back to $299. And so the site knows that information. So when you go to it, it's now going to say the best price is Target.com. And then if that price changes, it'll say best price is Walmart.com.
Nice.
So all of those little features are going to be nice, be able to add some more retailers. The one I really want to get is like QVC, because they got a lot of new products in, and that kind of expands the whole thing with Arcade1Up. Like you got Pac-Man, but there's variants of Pac-Man. So do I combine, all of the
I don't know.
Pac-Mans into a single card and then say, here's all the variants and the different prices? It'll be fun too. It's kind of a fun little challenge.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I've been pretty busy working on the ToyShock mod. I didn't.
Man.
Yeah, I didn't actually have time to put up video of it, but actually if you go to I don't even know what the name of the Facebook group is that I have. I think it's called the officially unofficial ToyShock modding page or modding group. So if you go there, you can see some pictures. But I have I put T2 graphics on it, so it's got the Terminator 2 pinball machine graphics. I've got the
Yeah.
backglass plexi done, so that looks good. And I actually used an Arcade1Up monitor in the backglass, so I took an old 17-inch Arcade1Up monitor, I jigsawed that out and put it in there, so that's working pretty good.
Old
Um,
as in 9 months ago.
yeah, I guess, right. I had them laying around because of modding and stuff. But yeah, so that's going pretty well. I would not recommend this for anyone though. Like honestly, all I'm proving is that it costs a lot of money to take the ToyShark as your base cabinet and mod it. So if you don't love those, like the real talk here, if you don't love those 12 games and they have zero nostalgia value for you, just wait, because there's going to be, I think, some exciting news coming out of CES with others getting into this, getting into this 3/4 scale pinball, for at home. So I would
Hmm.
wait. I honestly, unless you like love those Gottlieb titles and you're like, oh my gosh, I remember when I was young playing TXX Sector, I rocked it, like, or whatever, or Lights Camera Action, I killed it. Like, if that's you, then dude, go, by all means, go. And I'm not even making fun of you. I'm just saying, if
Well,
you were
see,
killing it,
the thing is, if you're that person, you already ordered it,
that's
right?
true. You
So,
probably already had it. You probably
yeah.
already have it. So yeah. So just kind of, I'm thinking just chill on just because I put a lot of money into it already, and like I said, I had owned a bunch of different virtual pinballs, and we talked about those on prior live streams, but I had never really built one. So I'm coming to
Mhm.
realize, like I always said, it takes a powerful PC, and I always said it's expensive, and it kind of is, but I think there are going to be others that are going to enter the market. They're going to try to hit a target price that I don't even think you can hit if you built it yourself. And like if you put like the time is money into it, right? Like, hey, how many man
Right.
hours am I going to put into this? So I would hold off. Honestly, I'm not. It's not nothing against Toy Shark. I just think they entered the market early and they used 12 games that almost everyone I know doesn't care about. So like, if no one cares about Gottlieb titles and then someone else, this gives someone a chance at CES to be like, bam, and like enter the market with all the things that Toy Shark left off, right? Like check all those check boxes, DMD, active backglass,
Hmm.
tactile feedback, all these things. If they start doing that, it will be interesting where Toy Shark fits in the market. Maybe they just get pushed down to the entry level, like almost toy grade, which is kind of where they are anyway. And now
Yeah.
you have like someone more legitimate that isn't quite this $4,000 one, but it's like that nice in between, right?
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. Like, it's really interesting because you got these cabinets that have various price now because Arcade1Up has been around for a while and they're older generations. The everyday price of Walmart is starting to change to that like $200. $200 is a common price, not just like a liquidation manager special, but like you can pick up the Street Fighter Centipede, some 150, right?
Yeah.
So we'd have multiple generations all within a year or so, right? So we got these various, think about like Apple, right? Remember that, and I think they're kind of like this before, kind of like this, but like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, they were really like this. You could get like your iPod for a certain price, and then they basically had three different price
Yeah,
points for
and you're getting the
you could
same
get.
experience. It's just maybe I can't save as many songs or whatever. Yeah.
Right, right. Like the Shuffle was the real cheap one, right? And
Yeah.
then you could get like an iPod with a small screen. Then you get one that's more like the iPhone, but was an iPod video, right? So anyway, you get the point, right? So Arcade1Up is starting to get that. So the question is, what's going to be their pro line, that higher price point? Because up to this point, they've only released cabinets that were no more than $500. And to make a really good pinball, I think they're going to have to say, you know what? For cabinets, our upper price is $499. But now that we're jumping into pinball, yeah, it's if you want a really really good experience, will you pay us
Yeah.
$899?
Well, and if that amount is kind of a small uplift from what the Toy Shark is, then I think people will be like, "Oh wow," because I think the price has been set. Like, hey, you can do it run of the mill basic level virtual pinball for $400. Yep, it's not going to be amazing, but you can get one for $400. So $400 is the baseline, and they give you the active backglass, a DMD, a bigger playfield, and they can do it for $899. And I don't know if that's the price or not, But if they
Yeah,
can,
we're completely speculating here.
yeah, and we're
Yeah,
also
we don't have any
speculating,
inside info.
and we're also speculating if they're even going to announce one because nothing's technically been confirmed. There's been talks
Now,
about it. No one said
a
yes,
lot
we're
of
doing this.
teasing.
Yeah, some
Now,
teasing.
I do believe they're going to announce. I think it'll be a prototype. Remember when at E3 they had the Karate Champ, and Karate Champ, what they actually had at E3 was a Karate Champ only cab, and we could play with it. You can kind of get an idea, but it didn't have Burger Time in it, and so
Yeah,
people asked, well, how's Burger Time going to work? Because what about the buttons for Burger Time? But the E3 model didn't even have like action buttons for Burger Time. And now, of course, as many of you know, because of the feedback from the community, they decided to switch it. So Burger Time is the first title cabinet, and we actually haven't seen the Burger Time. It kind of delayed that entire project because the community said, no, 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 you should switch. So they could do the same thing with Pinball. They could say, hey, look, guys, we worked with our manufacturer and we came up with what we want to deliver to the community. This is what we're thinking.
yeah.
This is our price point. What do you guys think? And what we might see is probably a pretty much close to the final product, but maybe only like one title, kind of like the
Yeah.
Karate Champ
But I mean,
scenario.
if what they're teasing is actually what they deliver on, then it seems like they're pretty serious about let's deliver the things that people would want at a cost-effective price that you wouldn't think you'd be able to get, right? Like when I heard $400, I'm like, okay, there's no way they're going to have active backlash. There's no way they're going to have a DMD. There's no way they're going to have a bigger screen. But, with One-Up being in the game for a little while, and they have now companies they're working with to buy these massive quantities of the types of things they need, massive amounts of screens and massive amounts of cabinets and components. So, it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can get a deal on a bunch of 32-inch monitors or whatever it is for play
Right.
fields. And if they can, and they want to extend some of those savings to the consumers and make the first affordable, fully featured cabinet, they could very well do that, I think,
Right.
which would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, like basically if they can get under $1,000, if they can get a little bit lower, that'd be even better. But we talked about it. So take the Star Wars cabinet, right? And you say they debuted that one at $500. Remember, we had a conversation earlier today. I thought it was kind of interesting. We said, take the Star Wars cabinet with the 15. No, just take the Star Wars cabinet, the 3/4 size cabinet, and imagine you take it and you flip it on its side and you put legs on it.
Yeah, you
Just
kind of have
imagine that in
it's a
your
pretty
head.
decent sized cabinet if you can
Right.
do.
Like
Yeah,
now expand that to like a 32-inch screen. Right now it's taking up a lot of it,
yeah,
and then add another monitor. So how much more would it cost to add legs, bigger monitor? But you're going to need two screens now because that's probably what we want.
yep,
Haptic feedback, solenoids, all that stuff. Can you bridge the gap with only a few $100s more from the 500 price point? Jump up to 6, 7, 8,
yeah,
9. No one's doing that. There's no market between $500 and $1,000
yeah.
for a pinball machine. It's all either below with the ToyShock or higher.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, that's creating a new market.
So we real quick because I want to tie off on the so obviously this is part of a CES prediction thing, even though it's been sort of teased quite a bit to the point of almost confirmation, but it's not like someone at Arcade1Up said that we're doing it. It's like, hey, if we had a thing that did this, this, and this, it's like they're suggesting that they're doing it, but they haven't fully confirmed it. So I just want to make it
That's
clear.
right. There's a lot of buzz in the air about this, but
there's a
nothing
lot of
fully
buzz, right? Buzz. So yeah, so I was talking to a buddy of mine who actually makes, he manufactures sort of more builds, but he builds these virtual pinball machines and sells them to people. And he was actually telling me about how he built a kit to add force feedback to your pinball machine. And I remember him telling me that, and I was thinking to myself, it'd be kind of cool if, because pinball's a different beast, like imagine if Arcade1Up did, and this is another one of the things, I have no clue, we don't know, but wouldn't it be kind of neat to buy one? Like you said, you'd have two models. One doesn't have the feedback, but you can upgrade into it. Like that would be really cool. Like if there was a module you added, like maybe there was, like, let's just call it, there's 4 screws on each side of the cabinet and there's a tray that gets put in where it has solenoids and all these things. And like literally you like screw that thing in, and then after you're,
Right.
it adds function. You plug in a wire harness and it adds functionality. Like there could be many ways you go about this that could kind of make you have some
You
upgradability to
know,
your machine too.
that's a really good point because that's kind of their argument for their riser. Like they could go full size only, but if they go full size only, they'll alienate the people that actually want the 3/4
Yeah.
size. That gives them the option to just to buy the cabinet without. And we've seen pictures on Facebook of several people. It's not a lot, but there are people out there that have an entire game room, and it's no risers, right?
Yeah.
I What's more often is lots of risers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so in my head, I'm thinking, okay, 40, $50 for a riser, that's technically an add-on. So could you sell a virtual pinball machine that kind of gets that price lower? But yeah, like you pay $50 more for an accessory that adds
Yeah.
the
I mean, maybe it's an
the
idea. I
haptic
don't know.
feedback.
You know.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool
But
idea.
yeah, but so real quick, I want to we'll talk a little bit more about, we'll square off on the Arcade1Up thing, and then I want to get into, I want to jump around a little bit, get a
Yeah.
little bit away from Arcade1Up.
Yeah,
We're going
let's
to
talk about it. We'll come back to the Arcade1Up predictions, and
Okay.
so keep in mind, everybody in the chat, like if you could, we were going to try this thing where think about your predictions, right? But we don't want you to mention them just yet. Okay, just be prepared, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll do a segment later where we all talk about our predictions. We'll discuss in the chat what your predictions are, and it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. We'll come back to that.
And so obviously on the channel, I cover a lot of retro products. It's not just Arcade1Up. It's not just AtGames. I cover things like, console type stuff, but more retro console type stuff. And recently I've done a couple videos on N64. One I did of the Hyperkin cable that they have, so you can hook up an N64 controller to like your Switch or your PC, which is really cool. But something that I did a video on this year was, our light guns making a comeback in 2019, and we saw the PDP Mars launch, and I did a video, but it was my first video of my lunchtime live stream, and my mic wasn't working and all that. But you guys actually were really excited about it, anyways. But then I feel like they made this big splash with it. And I was at E3, and then I kind of like, I don't know, it didn't die, but I feel like in my mind, it's just not it's not being talked about as much. But
Right.
another light gun that's yet to come out, it still hasn't come out, is Hyperkin's Hyper Blaster HD. So this is some footage from when I was at E3 last year, and they were showcasing it. And there was a video that Mad Little Pixel literally just did. And I actually really like him. I feel like he's pretty straight and to the point on what he covers. And if if he doesn't feel like he had a good experience with it, he says that. And so this is me playing with the Hyper Blaster at E3. And, it actually worked really well at E3. So it made me wonder, why did the unit he get not work so well? Like, have they not perfected this? Like, was this just like one of the better prototype units, and he just happened to get a dud? Because I actually really did think that it worked pretty well. The gun was weighted right. Like, there's actually, I think he even opened it up in his video. There's some weights in there, so it felt pretty good. The trigger felt good. But I was kind of disappointed to see it didn't really work out that well for him. It just didn't seem like it was a pleasurable experience for him. It wasn't working right. So this is something where I'm thinking Hyperkin's definitely going to talk about this more, right? They're going to talk about this, and they're going to have it in their. They don't have a booth actually at CES. They actually have an off-site. Look, they're doing like an off-site sort of suite thing, and I have an invite to that, so I'm going to go talk to the guys over at Hyperkin again this year. But I'll be interested to see what they do with that, because are they going to actually, are they going to showcase it and let people touch it? And is it going to be a better experience than what Mad Little Pixel had? Because obviously his was not very good.
What I'm hoping would be really cool is they did send Mad Little Pixel a review unit, and he reviewed it and said, "This ain't good, guys." And they're like, "Oh, okay, we'll fix it." Because if you go through the list of all the things that about it, like they're all fixable things. So if you want, we can go through it. Do we want to dive deeper into it?
I don't know. Do you guys want to hear more about this? Because I have other things I want to cover that are Hyperkin related,
it's up to
that
you.
are a little bit more.
We can move off of Hyperkin, or we can talk. Are you guys into this whole light gun NES duck hunt thing? Mo?
Mo? I don't know if Mo
is that more?
Is more or no?
Or no.
Shoot, we're confused, dude. You got to be more. I don't know.
Okay, no.
No.
LOL, no. Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. I thought people would care a little bit more. So, okay, something that I hope you guys do care about that I'm super. All right. Well, it's unanimous.
Okay. All right,
All
guys.
right. You guys hate light guns. All right. So the thing I am super excited about, and maybe we should take a poll, Justin, because this will be at CES. This was
Okay,
at
let's do it.
E3. It hasn't been released yet, but we're at a point where people in their 30s, mid 30s, they're super pumped up about their console that they loved and adored as kids, and that was the N64. And no one's really come out with a good N64, product to be able to either reuse carts or, add ROMs and have it look good on an HD TV. Because if you've ever tried to hook one up through and you did it on the cheap, it's gonna look like crap. I mean, it just looks bad. It actually kills your experience. If you then take that same console and hook it up to a CRT, if you go get one, it looks awesome. Your N64 will look like you remembered it. If you put it on an LCD, you will kind of be like thoroughly disappointed. So, so one of the things I was excited about was this product called the Retron Ult. This is another Hyperkin product, but this will be the first real, N64 sort of emulation device. It's not from what I can tell, it's not using FPGAs or anything like that. It's basically dumps the ROM and then allows you to play the game via emulation, but I mean, it could be really cool. So I don't know if you guys, it'd be interesting to almost take a quick poll on like, was the N64 a product that was nostalgic to you, and you want us to check this product out more, because I think this will be the first time they'll let people actually play it outside of maybe some select individuals. So maybe we should do like a quick poll on that. It'd be interesting to hear.
So we're talking about the Hyperkin Nintendo 64. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a 1 for yes, 0 for no, if that's an interesting topic. We're asking for 2 reasons. We can dive deeper into this topic here on the show tonight a little bit, just for 5-10 more minutes. And that will give us a clue if we should check it out while we're at CES. As a reminder, we're going to CES. We're going to be doing live shows. It looks like a lot of people are saying yes so far, so
cool.
let's jump into it.
All right, so real quick, so I'll give you the 2 seconds. Justin's actually the console modder, so he's the one that does that stuff, which is why the console kit's name. So I'm going to have him talk a little bit more about it. But as far as like what I saw at E3, I got a chance to see it in the case. They had like a demo going, but it wasn't the actual, system. I don't think it's not going to be your like Mega SG, Mega NT kind of quality thing, but from the looks of it, I don't know if you guys saw some of the sample video that was out there. It looked pretty good. Like, I mean, the quality looked pretty good. It didn't look like what's the really expensive console mod that you can do? Is it called Ultra HD? Is that what it's called?
I have one right here. I grabbed it real quick. So this is a mod kit that you can get from GameTech. So GameTech is a reseller of these mod kits. He's exclusive for selling these. I have a couple of these. So I do mods for, I know the GameTech guy, and I work with him, and I buy items from him in bulk, but I'm not like associated with his website or his company or anything like that. So
this episode of Retro Ralph is sponsored by, what's the name of the company again?
GameTech.
GameTech.
Okay,
console
so
kits and console kits.
Okay.
The interesting part about this is why this Hyperkin is interesting. It's because this kit, if you like go to eBay and say I want to buy a Nintendo 64 that's already been modded, that has HDMI out, and it's a very high quality, right? It's doing a very good job getting you an output. That solution's going to run you about $500.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's expensive.
Crazy.
And the guy who makes this is at a hard time keeping them in stock. So the market's there, right?
Yeah.
And there's not, again, okay, Ralph, you were going to talk about it. There is another solution to be able to play Nintendo 64 games on a modern scenario.
So one thing that I covered this in a video was a Hyperkin video about the adapter they had to hook your standard N64 controller up. It's called Project 64. So Project 64 is great. You can play with all of the graphical settings and like get it really dialed in. It'll look great. Problem is that, it's an emulator and you gotta, hook your laptop or your desktop up to a TV to play. You could obviously play it at your computer desk if you have a screen that that's adequate size or whatever. But it's one way to do it, and but it does a really good job with the graphics. But I mean, I think there are a lot of people that wanna. I think there are a lot of people that want if it was a console they liked as a kid, they want to put it, in their living room or whatever, or their game room and play it on the same TV they maybe play their modern consoles on, right? They just want to experience it in that same effect. And then the other cool thing is I can't remember the name of it, but they have that wireless. Hyperkin's doing that wireless joystick too, the wireless controller for the N64. So there's that too. So there's a lot of cool stuff. The thing is, let's put the disclaimer on it. Hyperkin really makes products for their budget products, their budget based products. So they're not the best. They're not meant for like the extreme enthusiast that like has to be pixel perfection on everything. It has to be pixel perfect. So
their consoles, let's clarify, their controllers are really good, though.
Yeah, the controllers are great. I mean, but their consoles are like, oh, I get to relive these games, and they look pretty good. You know what I mean? It's not like they look like junk. It's just they don't. It's not like it's going to look if you have an OSSC hooked up to your console via RGB SCART. Like it's not going to look like that, but it'll look good. So I'm excited to see what they do.
A lot of people are excited that it might look way better than any other option, and this is why it can be successful. It's the only thing available, right? It's like right now.
Yeah, from a console perspective,
like 3 or 4 of those Ultra HDMI mods even available, right? They're kind of rare, and so if they sell these and anyone can buy them, I'm not sure the price point, like maybe $150, $200. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll be cheaper.
Yeah, they haven't. I don't think they've really talked much about the price, but
they could sell it for $200 and they'll still fly off the shelf, because the people that are in the market for Ultra HDMI will be like, well, I might as well just try this out. It might not be bad.
So Justin, Steve Zimmerman in the chat was saying, so Hyperkin better release this thing soon. I do think that there's like a limited window here. Like I feel like if they don't double down on this at CES, they're gonna miss it, because someone like
analog.
Why not an analog Mega 64? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They do that.
Probably working on it.
And I know that price won't be the best, but I think those N64 fans would just if they go, look, there's Hyperkin, which isn't out yet. There's this. They'll save to buy that. Like they'll go, shoot, I should, like, if I'm gonna, because their experience is gonna probably be one of the best ones you can get if they do it.
Yeah, but keep in mind, like analog's not gonna sell it for $500. Like they're done doing that. Analog, the original analog NT Mini, that thing was $500. But Super NT with shipping was $220. That's reasonable.
They're getting better into the
$220. That's reasonable. If Kevin Horton builds an FPGA core for Nintendo 64 and they just throw it in the same hardware they already have, put a new shell on it, they can move it for $220. It will fly off the shelf.
Especially because of the Ultra HD stuff being so expensive. Yeah, for sure.
That's right.
For sure. All right. Well, I'm glad you guys are interested in that. So the cool thing is I've built a relationship over the past year with I'll tell you the story really quick. I went to PAX East, and that was a crazy thing. I think I have a video out there called it's like Streets of Rage 4 at PAX East, and I literally wake up at like some ungodly time. I think I left on a plane at like midnight here, and I showed up in Boston at like 5:30 in the morning, but the conference didn't start till 10. I like slept in my car, and I did this all because I thought I was going to be able to play Streets of Rage 4. Well, come to find out, like they let me play it, but I couldn't film it. So I was so bummed. But anyways, as I was walking around, I was delirious, super tired. I go over to the Hyperkin booth, and I was just like, hey, yeah, I'm a YouTuber. I was wicked small at the time. I mean, at the time, I probably only had like 2,000 subscribers. So that's really small in comparison to now. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to do reviews on your guys' products. I've used them throughout the years. And it was this woman, Celia, and she was awesome. She was super nice. And she's supported me the whole year. Like, she sent products along the way. And, as I've sort of matured and the reviews got better or the content got better, she's sort of trusted me with more and more. So she's actually invited Justin and I both to the Hyperkin booth at it's offsite. So offsite at CES. So cool. So they'll see what they have. But I thought it was worth bringing up because I think the one product that they have that could be like their killer product of 2019 or 2020, if they do it right, is this N64 system. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be exciting. Again, I think that window that you talked about, because is really important. We can say that again, right? So the age group for Nintendo 64 nostalgia is like right now. It's like that's kind of hot. No one's doing it. and there's not a lot of solutions, and all the solutions out there are really expensive. And so there's this opening for.
Oh, sorry.
No, let's do it. Next subject, buddy.
I actually wasn't going to ToyShock, but I just played the video by accident. I thought the next, but I will run it just to kind of just to kind of get you guys, because it will be a hot. You got to remember, guys. CES is a huge show now. It isn't. It used to be like, hey, come see the new TVs and come see like the new like consumer electronic stuff. It's like everything now. It's cars. It's artificial intelligence. It's autonomous driving. It's like tech in everything, because tech is in everything. So there will be a lot of retro gaming stuff, but there's also going to be a ton of like all of these other things. Like some of the things that I thought. Before we get into that, like I wrote down a couple things I'm excited about. So technically the official sort of, I think like launch of the Xbox Series X will be there. Like they're going to have a huge booth there. So Microsoft's going to have, I don't know what they're going to show of it, but they're going to have the Series X Xbox. So for your modern gaming stuff, they're going to be there. Intel is getting into graphics cards for the first time. Like they're going to have a rival graphics card against not just embedded GPUs, but they're going to do like their own PCI based graphics cards. So that'll be interesting. AMD's showcasing some crazy graphics card that's getting really good. It's called the RX 5600 XT, and it has 6 gigs of RAM, so that should be interesting. And then AMD's getting super close to Intel i9 CPU performance with it's the 3rd gen Ryzen. It's like Terra Threader or something. I can't remember the name of the product, but they have all these specs out there. They're showing it's getting like really, really close to Intel. So I know Chris Guysot, who's in there. Chris, how's it going in the chat? He does lots of videos for the channel. He's a good friend of mine, but he actually built his Arcade1Up Pinball cab with a Ryzen processor. Their processors are getting really good, and they're like kind of budget friendly. Like they're not crazy expensive. So I actually come to why I'm going to talk about that is because that's actually what I'm putting in the ToyShock mod. But should we pivot to it? I mean, we kind of already talked about virtual pinball, but maybe we can a little bit more, and then we'll kind of move off that topic.
Yeah. I think you got to go into more description of all your failures. I mean, like, dude, seriously, are you just going to give it up already? Like,
Threadripper.
I got the Threadripper. Yeah.
Yeah. So ToyShock, it's taking on a new meaning.
ToyShock. I do love, by the way, that literally. I wish I could give money for every time someone uses ToyShock. I get super excited that everyone uses ToyShock all the time, but there are people that literally go to there are people that comment on YouTube. Think about it, right? There are people that find me on YouTube or find anyone else on YouTube for the very first time. They're not a fan. They don't know who I am. And the first video they see, they might have heard about ToyShock, and they type in ToyShock and mine comes up. Well, I get a lot of comments lately of, it's not ToyShock. It's not ToyShock. It's ToyShock. Stop calling it that. So they like get mad at me for it, which is really kind of funny. But
it just makes you want to say ToyShock.
It makes me want to. But
more,
see, that's when I get adolescent. I'm very adolescent in my humor, so it makes me want to be like ToyShock. #ToyShock. But
so we're thinking about at CES, we're gonna go live, right? And I'll hold the camera for Ralph. I'll be doing a lot of camera holding, I think, and he'll do the interview with ToyShock. Or ToyShock, and I said I'll give him $5 for every single time he says ToyShock in the interview.
How much money?
$5.
Dude, you don't want to do that. That's a bad bet. I will ToyShock the shit out of it if you
Now,
you say $5, I will ToyShock all over the place.
Here's the problem. It's all gonna fail now because our good buddy Patrick P Dubs is gonna be at the booth, so he knows all about the ToyShock. And he's going to laugh the moment you say it. And he's probably watching this, making a deal with you, like figuring out how much money you guys can take from me.
No, that you have to add that to stipulation that I have to say it, but it can't be to him. It has to be someone else in the booth.
Well, he's probably going to watch this and then like tell the other people.
Well, there'll be only 2 people in the booth. Let's face it. So it'll be him and the. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Pull
All right,
back.
I'm joking. I'm joking. All right. So if you're new to what this thing is, let's see how many people. We have 80 people in here. So if you're new to what this is it real quick. I'll run it. I'm gonna. Unfortunately, I can't mute the audio till it starts. So just hold on a second. It might be really loud for a second.
It's Digital Pinball, a real arcade gameplay experience with 3D technology.
I'm not gonna mute it because it's the ToyShock.
Arcade right into your home. You and your friends will have hours of arcade entertainment. Its solid construction and arcade features are a great addition to every home. Kids, parents, and even grandparents can play. With multiple game options in every model, you can play hit games like Haunted House, Black Hole, Bone Busters, and more. Get your digital pinball machine today by ToyShock.
Oh yeah! You're gonna be able to play a bunch of games that you didn't give a rat's ass about! Yes! ToyShock!
Alright, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. I like to have fun. You guys know that.
Just having fun.
I'm just poking fun. You know I love the ToyShock. Not really, but... So if you want to talk about real quick, I'm getting a bunch of questions of how much money I put into the mod. So... I really did want to. So like anything else, right? If you went to someone that knows about retro pies, right, or Raspberry Pis, they're going to give you their opinion. But there's like 100 different Raspberry Pi retro Pi images, right? So there's a bunch of different images. They have a bunch of different requirements. There's actually multiple Raspberry Pi boards. So like people, if someone like let's say, started the hobby in the Raspberry Pi 3, not the 3B or the 3B Plus. Like they might have a different experience than someone that's 3B Plus or 4. So I feel like with Virtual Pinball, it's the same thing. But I did really try to build a system that was a budget system, but I quickly realized that as you get into the more sophisticated tables, you just can't do it. And a lot of it has to do with I'm gonna relate it to something that if you've even touched an Adobe product, an Adobe like graphic design product, something like Illustrator or Photoshop, then you know that a lot of those products have like layers of graphics. So like you can actually have like multiple layers. You can do these like really complex, designs.
Does this story have multiple layers?
It does. So,
Okay.
so what I'm trying to say is when they digitize a virtual pinball table, it has lots of layers that make up all of the graphical elements of that game. So you got to think like, I've got 12, 13 layers of data that I have to be able to understand the ball being anywhere within all of that, right? And then all of the actual mechanics around how the ball's operating, how would this ball the physics of the ball work if it hit this bumper, all those things. So the thing that makes it so intensive is really all the math involved in making the ball actually act like it should in real life. So that's really where these more advanced systems like the visual pinball stuff, 8, 9, and 10, as they've gotten better, the ball mechanics have gotten better. So they're trying to make a video game really be as realistic to the real pinball experience as possible. So as you start to get the more sophisticated tables, it's just taxing. You need a good GPU. So I've kind of like learned through this experience that you got a like crappy graphics card, it's going to be a terrible experience. Like literally I had a I can't remember what I started with. Well, I started with no graphics card. I started with just an onboard GPU.
Let's see. I remember it was Atom processor, 1.4 gigahertz, 4 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, but then I went to a Celeron, which had 6 gigs of RAM.
That's right.
Yeah, so the Celeron with 6 gigs of RAM did some of the virtual Pinball 9 tables okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. Like, it was definitely not good. And you started to do pinball, you tried to do Visual Pinball 10, and it was a total disaster. Like, it was a terrible, terrible experience. So now I've got a Ryzen CPU, which is like, I don't have the specs on me right now. I'll put the specs in the links in the description. And I have...
Go ahead.
I'll forget. But anyways,
you'll just do the live stream and be like, I forgot. Links in description.
Links in description right below.
Updated.
And someone else is going to watch this and go, dude, where's the link? It's in he said it was in the description.
So check this out. If you care about anything he says, then just comment after the show is over, and then he'll respond.
That's messed up. It's messed up, dude. He's telling it how it is, though. So anyway,
That's how it is.
Someone said the more money you have, the better your balls will be. It's pretty true. Physics, yes, there you go. Yeah, the ball physics will be way better. So bottom line is I've got a 1060 in there now, and it's a dream now. Now it runs awesome. So you can get a 1060 refurbished probably with like, I think 3 or 4 gigs of RAM on it. I think it's about 4 for I think like 140, 150-ish on Amazon. So, I mean, it's not terrible, but you think about it, I got to get a motherboard, you got to get RAM, you got to get a SSD or a NVMe drive, you know? So it adds up pretty quick. So I could easily say,
that's
right now, Matt,
really excited about the possibility. I'm going to bring it back around. That
and by the way,
Arcade1Up
Justin, real quick, I'm at about
will come out with a pinball machine, right? Because they have something that Ralph doesn't have, and that's the ability to buy
balls.
Yeah,
they have balls.
They're buying in bulk, and they have Walmart or QVC as their distribution.
Walmart.
And in that combination, they might be able to say, yeah, we know the minimum requirements to be able to make a pinball machine that we want.
I take offense to this, Justin. I have really big balls, actually. I take offense to your ball comment. Take it back. Take it back.
You know, once we started talking about pinballs, there's so many. See, I can see the chat, and then I can also see Ralph's chat. That's like constantly like, you know, I was gonna say some jokes, but no one would get it except for Ralph. Anyway, there's a lot of profanity.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
So, I'll say though, real quick. Someone asked how much cost do I have invested in it. So you figure, Justin, so you figure the ToyShock is $399, right? So I have about $400 invested there, and then I probably, with the parts that I had to get on top of the stuff I had, I'm past the 1,000 mark. I'm not quite at 1,100, but you think about it, right? I'm not, but I reused the 1-up screen. I'm not factoring in the fact that I had that monitor already that just happened to, I got lucky and worked. So.
Okay, for the next like 30 seconds, you have to talk like Peter Griffin because of My Family. We love you, My Family. You're always on our show. And because of you mentioning Peter Griffin, Retro Ralph is now going to do the voice of Peter Griffin. I'm sorry. Am I interrupting Ralph too much? I hate when people do that.
Wait, let Justin speak. I'm not letting you speak, apparently.
No. I thought I don't want to interrupt Ralph. I don't want to be an interrupter. That's bad.
No.
Okay.
No, our problem is so guys, we're not really interrupting each other. Our problem is that like the way we have this set up, like this isn't the most sophisticated system in the world because
there's a little delay.
We're using Skype. So if I start saying something, Justin gets it a little late, which is kind of a bummer. So we're going to work on that for this coming year. We're going to try to get
Never going to work on it. We're going to be using OBS and Skype until we die.
Actually, speaking of, can you hear Justin okay? Because I was actually going to maybe tweak your audio levels a bit here.
Hurry up.
I'm sure I'll hang up on you in the meantime though, because that's what I do. Let's see. Talk for a minute.
Just come on, man.
All right, whatever. Anyways, you know what grinds my gears, Justin?
What grinds your gears?
What grinds my gears is when I buy this ToyShock thing, right? I buy it and I get it in my house, and I'm putting graphics on it, and the graphics are curling up on the side. That grinds my gears. The graphics are all they're cockeyed, and so I'm trying to put graphics over curled up graphics. That's what grinds my gears.
Now, do you think the average consumer that's going to buy the ToyShock is going to deal with the appealing graphics?
No one's going to care because they're not going to, because no one's going to mod it.
Do you think it's the modding that you're doing that's causing the curling?
Well, okay. So they have this thing where when you get the ToyShock out of the box, they've got pieces of tape. They've got pieces of tape on the corners, which I think were there to sort of like to when you're putting the legs on. I don't think you're supposed to peel those off. I think those are actually there to stay, and they're meant, I think, to like make sure when you're taking out of the box and shipping, it doesn't curl anything. But you're putting the legs over it anyway. I think you're supposed to keep those there. But those started to break free
because I was watching this video from Detroit Love. Come back with another video. Wait, I'm not doing it right. With another video.
I can do it better, I think.
You can do it better. Go for it.
All right, hold on. Let me see if I have the right effect.
We love you, Detroit.
Check. It's your boy, Detroit Love, back with another video. No, that's too deep for him. His voice isn't that deep.
It's your boy, Detroit Love, back with another video. Nah, they both sound like shit.
All right, sorry.
Anyway, yeah, he did a nice video on that, showing us all the amazing ToyShock, and he pointed out I liked his video better than yours, in fact, because you said you lied in your video.
I lied. What'd I lie about?
You said you weren't going to mod it.
I did say that, didn't I? I said that, I think.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, where is that? Let's see. Do I have that? I know I did that somewhere. Where did I do that? Hold on. Nope, that's ToyShock. Could have sworn anyways.
So I'm going to be upfront with our audience here. I think they need to know the truth. For the last 5 episodes, we spend about 6 hours preparing. Yeah, it's like a 1-hour show that we spend 6 hours preparing.
Sorry.
And this is the first time because both of us are super busy and Kim's not feeling well. Probably because she realized that she just, agreed to marry you.
Yeah, she got sick after that. I don't know what happened.
Yeah. She's like, what did I do? Anyway, so we
seriously.
only put 3 hours into this video, and it's showing.
Yeah, so I had a bunch of clips I wanted to pull, but we didn't get a chance to do that. So I did. So the other things we wanted to talk about, there were some other topics. So we got.
Yeah, let's get back on it.
Yeah, so we got so E3. We've got obviously. We can shift gears to real quick
CES,
CES. We can shift gears to AtGames because I actually don't think you're going to hear or see a lot from AtGames. AtGames is not going to have a booth at CES that I know of. I would expect AtGames to maybe do offsite meetings to talk about. I think we have an offsite meeting with them, right? Is that correct?
Yeah. They've agreed to meet with us.
Yeah, so they have an offsite meeting with us, but I think you're going to see them maybe share with the community some of the stuff that they're doing in early alpha stages that they want to see, how it's resonating with the fans of the product. Because, one thing that's kind of cool is they've technically developed a platform. Like they're not selling multiple cabs. They're selling one cab, right? But they're selling one cab that does a bunch of things that appeal to different people. Like it actually appeals to, there's one person that all of that stuff appeals to, but then there's elements of it that appeal to just one kind of person. Like, hey, I want to plug it in and just have it work. Well, cool. There's 350 games on it. Oh, hey, I want to use some of the catalog of Steam stuff I already have. Well, cool. Good, because you can locally stream with it. Hey, it'd be really neat if I could play Metal Slug with Justin. Oh, don't worry. You can do that via Arcade1Up. They've come up with all of these things. So you got to give them props for one. I don't know how long they were developing a lot of that stuff. Maybe it was slated for the general availability, but it didn't make it. But regardless, they've pumped the stuff out pretty quick. There's been a couple hiccups. But as far as major hiccups, I joked around about the laptop thing. That did suck, but in the grand scheme of things, it was me and 5 other people, right? So it was somewhat isolated, and they handled it really well, after the fact. So
and if you kind of, because I'm the type of person that does a lot of analytical study of all of this. A lot of the videos that I've done that have had success are about me kind of analyzing it. And if you analyze what AtGames is doing, it's really cool. They are building quickly and showing it to the public quickly before they harden it, right? And that's what's called the agile process in software development. And it's what I've done at different companies as well. And it's kind of a different mindset, which is really cool for a technology organization to do. It's not popular in the gaming industry, or hasn't been for decades, because back in the day, you'd build a game and you're done. Once you deliver it, you're done, right? And then, with being able to have updates now, so it's kind of becoming more popular to have okay, what you deliver as version 1 has to fully work, but you can make updates to it.
So Justin, there's a question that's actually pretty important to the topic we're talking about, and it was do we think that Sam's Club is going to get any more AtGames cabinets? And I think right now they're not slated till February. Does that sound right? February, March?
Yeah, so first of all, neither one of us are official spokespeople for AtGames, but we can repeat what we've heard, right? And that's what we've heard is there's been an overwhelming success with the AtGames product, that they underestimated how well the product would do. And because of that, they're sold out nationwide in all channels. And we saw that happen. They were available. And then I was doing it for my website. I was working on getting a backdoor into Sam's, and I was able to do that. I was able to find an API that would actually show me quantities, and it actually leaked that they were going to have a sale on what was it, December 14th, through the API. It said they have so many in stock, but they're not available yet. And I went to Sam's store and actually talked to them, and they gave me access to their inventory system for a moment, which was really weird. And I was able to verify the data that I was finding. Anyway, let's not bring out Black Hat Justin anymore. So the point is, I monitored it very closely, and it's true. Like, because I went to go get one, and I had some prior engagements. So like December 14th, I think it was, I showed up at 11. The 4 that were available at my Sam's were gone because they were available for just this short period of time, and they were gone. And I live in Des Moines. I figured, like, who else in Des Moines even knows about the AtGames? Well, enough people. And by the way, while I was there was a handful of people of various age groups screaming at the Sam's people because they didn't get their AtGames cabinet. Like, there was this guy that was like a World War II veteran, no joke, and he was like, I want my AtGames. You know, it was really funny.
No, it wasn't.
Come on. It was
You know what grinds my gears?
You know what grinds my gears? I'm sitting here in Des Moines, Iowa, looking at all these assholes in California, Phoenix, Arizona, Chicago, having fun with the little AtGames systems, firmware updates, and all this. And I'm sitting here in Des Moines, Iowa. I can't get myself a goddamn AtGames. That's what grinds my gears. And
he was like,
yeah, I get disrespect all over the place.
Sam's Club member for 15 years.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And they just kicked me in the ass, just like that.
Yeah.
All I want was my AtGames. Go home. I want to bring my own. Yeah.
Like right when I got in the car, I called you and we were texting, and I was texting Patrick and stuff. We're talking about everything, and I regretted, why didn't I stop and interview this guy? Why didn't I go, hey, you know, what game appeals to you on the AtGames? You know, because it was just kind of like a different age group. You know, he's like my dad, right? Like, why would my dad buy an AtGames? I figured the market was kind of like this 25 to 50, 25, you know.
Hey, don't be
55
discriminating.
Maybe, I don't know.
All right, so but the funny thing is, you said Patrick, and Patrick, I'm just the name, like, so I don't know why.
Should I just say P-dubs?
No, I just had this flashback because growing up, my best friend in the neighborhood, his name was Patrick, and this
your
is a
best friend's P-dubs?
No, no, but I mean, he's a nice guy, but no, yeah. But he
Oh, he's in the chat. Oh, crap.
no, cool, thanks. But
not making fun of you at all during the show.
No, but he threw me off what I was to say. Oh, so my best friend growing up, his name was Patrick, and I always remember, like, I don't know if these were popular. This might have been just a back east thing, but these sneakers all kids wanted, they were called Zippies, and they were like Velcro. They didn't have laces, they had Velcro. And I had a pair and he had a pair, but like his mom, I don't know, like she would like bleach Patrick's socks. He'd had the whitest socks ever, and like I just always remember feeling like I was homeless or something growing up because my socks were like kind of gray and dirty and his were like super white. So anyways, Patrick had some rockin' socks. So maybe, I don't know if P-Dubs like bleaches his socks or not, but it might be a Patrick thing. I'm not really sure. But yeah, they were like some killer socks.
He's bleaching them now.
He's bleaching them now. See, he said it. He said his socks are super white. I knew it. It's a Patrick thing.
I can't wait till CES, man, because there's so many features of CES. That are
Hot Pocket said,
"Why
are you guys talking about
P-Dubs
socks?"
is gonna be there. Ralph's gonna be there. I'm gonna be there. Cool Toy's gonna be there. Glenn's gonna be there. We're gonna meet with, of course, you know, Scott, John D, PK from AtGames, the Hyperkin folks, and we're all just gonna have dinner together. And Scott from Arcade1Up is gonna pay for it. That's the plan.
That'd be awesome.
That's my plan. Be like, dude, we know you're like rolling in the dough now, so you know, hook a brother up.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be awesome, P-Dubs. Can't wait to meet you in person.
Hold on a second here. Even my effects aren't. Oh, here we go. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me put the music up for a sec. We're going to CES. Yeah, we're going to do it big. We're going to have dinner with P-Dubs. We're going to have dinner with Scott Baccarat. We're going to have dinner with Harold. We're going to have dinner with PK. We're going to have dinner with everybody because it's going to be awesome and they're all going to pay for it. I'm going to have a steak tenderloin, tomahawk ribeye, freaking Pinot Noir. I'm going to maybe water it down. Whatever. Anyways, okay, sorry. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going crazy. Scott Baccarat. Uh-oh, someone was saying
All right, okay.
Hi,
yeah, not sharing a room.
Hey, man, my name is Scott.
Patrick did reach out to me and said, "Hey, you want to save some money?" And I thought about it, but sorry, P-Dubs.
Retro Santa Ralph does not share rooms with anyone. I'm sorry, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Okay, we're running up against the hour, and I know you have a sweet fiance that you need to go give some I don't know, what do you call it, like chicken noodle soup or something?
Yeah. So there were a couple other things I want to make sure. Like obviously CES is. I really do think gaming has become a really small part of CES now, considering, how large it is. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but CES, it's like 175,000 people or something. So it's an insane amount of people. It spans the whole strip, really. Like, it's in a whole bunch of different facilities. It's not just the convention center. And so some of the things that I wrote down, I do want to check out, like some of the 8K TVs. I do actually want to check out some of the new phone technology. I want to look at some of the PC graphics cards that are coming out, because there's some really cool graphics cards that are going to like kind of really push the limits. And then, I don't know how many of you guys are into, I don't talk about building PCs on my channel at all. And I kind of like go in and out of doing that myself. Like I built a PC for, video games is like 1% of CES. It is. It's really like, it's going to be exciting to go look at some of the other products that have to do with that are at CES. So I actually expect the coverage to deviate a little bit from what the channel typically is. Like I want to cover those things too. Yeah, so hopefully you guys are cool with that. Like I'm going to actually go into, it's not just going to be retro. I just figure, hey, if we're there, we might as well report on all things technology, because I feel like most of the people that watch us and watch this podcast or go to the channel, you guys like technology, so it should be pretty fun.
Technology nerds, right? Remember, it's Ralph that's retro, because he's old, and I can say that because he's the, out of the group, it's Glenn, then Ralph, then Patrick and I, because Patrick and I are both 38.
I actually can't believe that.
I'm 81 as well.
I actually can't believe that I'm the oldest. That's kind of pissing me off a little bit.
A little bit.
Maybe old is wise, though.
It could be. Like, okay, so I'm like all about Super Nintendo. You're all about like Atari.
Sega Genesis, actually. That would be Glenn. That would be about Atari. I'm about Sega Genesis. Sega Genesis was my jam.
Yeah. You're the kid down the street I didn't want to hang out with.
Really?
No. I'm kidding. No, I
actually,
love
me and Patrick, we were like this. His name was Patrick Scoggins. If he's watching, I think he's definitely. So Patrick, here's the one crazy thing. So I know this has nothing to do with technology, but he had the whitest socks, and his dad worked for a company that manufactured shoelaces. So when he did wear shoes, homeboy's shoelaces were the whitest shoelaces you'd ever see in your whole entire life. The whitest ones.
That's an amazing story, Ralph. Except it's not. So check this out. It's time for your predictions. We are holding back, and all of you that stayed till the end, we're ready to unveil
hold on.
predictions.
What he really means is we really had no predictions, so you're predicting for us.
Kind of. No. So check it out. You're going to make your predictions. Start making your predictions now. If you want, you can start your little sentence with prediction, colon, and then make your prediction. And we'll scan through it. And the best person tonight will get absolutely nothing.
No, wait. Hold on. No, they'll get something. No, wait.
Okay.
No, all right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to do the thing that Justin hates. I'm going to leave the show to Justin for 1 minute, and I'm going to go into the closet back here, and I'm going to find something to give away.
All right.
So I'm going to do it I only have 60 seconds to find it. So
go do it.
I'm going to do that. They predict stuff, and I'm going to go find something. Okay?
Go find it.
All right.
Brother.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Hey, guys. Welcome back. And in this episode, We're going to be making fun of Ralph all day long. Let's do this. Now, anyway, so make your predictions down below. We got some good ones coming up. Okay, I see Chris. Guyzat. Is it Guyzat or Guyzat? Oh, I can't hear you, so I'm not sure. So, ooh, they're starting to come in. Very good, very good. Now here's the little piece of information. Ralph actually knows what's going to be coming out for Arcade1Up, but he doesn't know that I told you guys. Okay, so he's going to come back, and he actually knows the full release, and we're going to make fun of him. We're going to make fun of him. Wait, is he got his wireless headset on? Can you hear me, Ralph? Okay, he can't hear me. This is good. This is good. Okay, so I like to. Hey, Ralph, how's it going? He's back.
Okay. I got two things.
So there we go. Mm-hmm.
What's going on? Wait, I want there to be a best and the worst, but who's gonna pick? Because I have two prizes. I have the worst prediction and the best one. They both win something.
Well, I think the worst prediction is just gonna happen. You know, like no one's gonna try for the worst. They're just gonna be the worst.
Is it bad to win the worst prize? Who's picking them? Are you picking it? You didn't really think this through, did you?
Maybe we could have the community vote.
How's that gonna work?
We can't do that. We're gonna have to pick it. So sorry, guys. We're gonna like totally recognize your name and give you the prize. Okay, no, let's be serious.
I say Justin has to pick it. You have to pick it.
Okay, fine.
I'll influence, but you have to pick it.
You start going through the chat then and start reading out the ones that are interesting.
Okay, so let's see. So I got one for Dragon's Lair. I got one that says I came out of the closet. That's awesome. NBA Jam, Burger Time. There's a lot of them here. NBA Jam, Burger Time, Outrun, Simpsons Cab, Bubble Bobble. All right. Mm-hmm. 4 to 6 player X-Men. I mean, that'd be pretty crazy. Killer Instinct. Mm-hmm. So are the ones that we're picking going to be the most, like, ones that actually could be realistic, or just the ones we think would be cool?
While you were gone, I told everyone you actually know.
You did?
Yeah, that's what I told them.
God, you're going to get me in trouble. I don't know. All right. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Dude, that'd be sick. That would be super awesome. I would love that. A lot of NBA Jam, Burger Time, Dragon's Lair, but I think we already know Golden Axe. That would be cool, too. I don't know if I'd want... no, I like Golden Axe. I'm a pretty big fan, but that's predictable. A ToyShock platformer game. That'd be awesome. Who wants to make that? Does anybody program games in the community that wants to make a ToyShock game? Hot Pockets said ToyShock 2.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I want that. All right. NBA Jam, Blitz, X-Men, WrestleFest, Capcom Play System Cabinet? I don't know what that is. What's Capcom Play System Cabinet? Like a Capcom mashup? Arcade1Up My Little Pony. Okay. That's probably going to win the worst. Terminator 2 Pinball 1-Up. That's my favorite. But I'm a little biased for that. We want to see Afterburner. Linkable Daytona USA. I like that. There's a lot of really good ones in here. But I mean, guys got to remember, like, a Double Dragon trilogy. Like, is this stuff that you guys think they're going to actually do? Because that was the whole idea. You're predicting what they're going to do next.
Well, I think some of them are, because some of them are, like, very close to, there's some buzz in the air of what exactly is going to happen, and people have caught on to that.
Okay,
and then there's
Polybius. Hey, do you guys know what Polybius is?
Yeah, it's like my favorite game ever.
Really, that makes so much sense, actually. That makes so much sense that Polybius is his favorite game. Let's see. Any shmup, SF2 Pinball. They won't do any of my predictions. What do you mean? Oh, Double Dragon Trilogy. I did one of your predictions. Tekken. Raiden Shooter Cab. Dragon's Lair Trilogy Cab would be nice.
Well, maybe he's saying Arcade1Up won't release his prediction.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, yeah.
Oh, okay, P-dubs. Sorry, dude, but yours is freaking awesome. Go for it, Ralph. Read P-dubs.
Cards Against Humanity. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune.
So, if you don't know, Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune is, if you need a NES cart and you only want to pay $1 for it, go find Wheel of Fortune. They made 1 billion of those, and they're all on eBay for like, they like give them away.
Um, let's see. I heard a Sega cab. Sega would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time. I feel like you should. I feel like you should pick.
Okay.
Can you pick the winner? Because I should show them what they're gonna win. Actually, so the winner gets, the Retro Game 350. So I don't know if you got. I don't know if you. This is actually probably one of the best retro handhelds right now. I love this one. There's a couple of other ones. I actually never ended up reviewing it on the channel. I should have, and I didn't. I don't know. I just didn't get around to it. So this is what you're going to win, the Retro Game 350. This thing's really cool. I'll keep it loaded with what I have. I have a couple of really good games on it too, so we'll leave that. Then the loser was gonna get the worst handheld I've ever demoed, which is this 400 game 8-bit classic thing. This thing royally sucks, but it's actually so. And I will send it to the person with the worst one. So
all right.
But Justin's gonna pick.
I have our worst one. Okay, it's got to be. Let's all. What we're gonna do is I'm gonna say what I think the worst one is, and we'll see if the community agrees. So if you agree this is the worst one,
the Embernick.
You're gonna type 1 that you agree that it's the worst, and you're gonna write 0 if I'm wrong. And if I see enough 1s to qualify, I'll be like, yeah. Arcade1Up My Little Pony.
That's the worst one. Who was that?
That's Josh McLeod. Now I love you, Josh. just putting it out there. But what if Josh prediction?
What if Josh was a brony? He'd be pissed. He'd want to punch you in the face. Okay.
Yes, he won.
All right. Well, Josh.
My Little Pony.
Well, all right. Well, Josh, since you won, if you want the 400 game 2.8 TFT 8-bit classic, then you have to send me your address at retroralph1980@gmail.com, and I will send it.
Let's all make fun of Ralph because he's a pretender. He makes his email address 1980 to make everyone think he's younger than he actually is, which he's not that young, guys.
Not true, Justin. Not true.
You're a 70s boy.
79, dude.
Okay.
69, dude. Oh.
Okay.
That's actually Glenn.
Now. Yeah, that is Glenn.
Actually, Glenn's probably 69.
Yeah, he is, right? Because he's 50 years old.
All right, so Josh, please send me your address, retroralph1980@gmail.com.
Yep. Okay, so now we're going to go to I'm going to have to say that Michael Kwan is the winner.
Okay.
Because he predicted NBA Jam, Burger Time, Dragon's Lair, and an Arcade1Up Terminator 2 pinball. And I think he's, except for Dragon's Lair, he's really close.
Okay. All right. Well, who was it again? Who did you say? It was Michael, right?
It's Michael.
All right, Michael. Kwan,
what do you guys
please.
Think? Well, hold on. Give us a 1 if you think Michael deserves to win.
Wait, we're not going to
get zeros.
If he had zeros, he won't win. This is the worst. This is the worst contest ever.
Give him. Everyone's getting zeros.
It's the worst contest ever. Who the hell runs this thing?
Yeah, I'm vetoing it. He won. Even Michael's like, I didn't win.
What a jerk. He's vetoing his own shit. What the hell?
No, Michael won. All
right, Michael, make sure you... Should we give away one more thing? I feel like we should give away one more thing.
All right, let's... If you want to give away one more thing...
So wait, hold on. Before we do this, make sure, Michael, you've got Michael, and I forget who won the other, or lost the other thing. I already forgot. All right, Michael.
My Little Pony guy.
All right, Mike, My Little Pony, you got to email me at retroralph1980@gmail.com. And yes, I was born...
everyone's going to email you now.
I know, shit. This is so stupid. We're never going to get this right.
No, don't email Ralph.
You just told them to. This is terrible. This is the most terrible contest.
No. Check it out.
This is terrible.
No, it's not terrible. Like, we'll legit find out who you are. Okay. Email Ralph, just the winners. Let's be grown-ups.
I'm writing down the names so you guys can't mess with me, because I have a feeling
really simple. This is really simple, okay? Okay? So here's what you do. All right. So the winners, please email Ralph, and you say something to him in the email, like a secret, right? And then
How
you
are you
comment.
talking about?
Oh, check it out. It's I used to do security. This works. So you comment down below your secret. Crap, that's not gonna work.
Dude, what the hell are you talking about? You've just made this the...
No, it'll work, dude. It'll work.
Okay. I don't even know if there's a point giving away something else because there's no way I'm... No. Someone said you guys suck at contests. I actually ran one that had a web page and it worked really good because it randomly picked the winner at the end, which was really cool. But we decided to do something different. Clearly not well thought out.
No, that's okay. We have on record. This is a live recording of who the winner is, and I'm sure your email address will match those names.
Wait, who was the one that... Oh, it was Josh, right? So it's Josh. Okay, Josh, as long as your email isn't like bronypony at like gmail.com. I'll see. I'll even remember that if it is. I'm kidding, by the way. That if you ever saw that, if you've never seen that Brony documentary, it's pretty interesting actually. I didn't even know that existed. Someone told me about it. It was kind of cool. Actually, I'm a Brony.
Okay.
I'm just lying.
This has been fun, guys. We really...
Are we gonna do one more?
We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more. Okay?
You got to give me a
on the
minute to
side,
go back into the...
Keep in mind, like we're like way unscripted at this point, right? And that's fine. We should do these more often. So Ralph, what's it gonna be?
I don't know. I got to go back and look.
No. Oh, wait,
Oh.
you're gonna give away one more based on some other great...
Yeah, you're gonna somehow come up with something brilliant in the next 60 seconds, and I'm gonna come back with something to give away. You don't seem very into that.
No, that's fine.
All right. Okay. You come up with something. You come up with
ready?
something. I'm going back. 60 seconds.
Oh, 60 seconds.
No,
Okay.
I have 60 seconds to get it, and you have 60 seconds to figure out what the hell we're doing.
I know what we're doing. Just
Okay.
go and
All
I'll
right, I'm
tell
out.
them. Okay, all right, guys. This is what we're doing. It's going to be fun. So we're going to do another giveaway, and hopefully it'll be something cool, And it's... Yeah, you got it, Michael. That's right. Predictions for the Arcade1Up Pinball. That's the exact idea. Maybe you should win twice. So, yeah, we want your predictions for what title that you think Arcade1Up Pinball will be, right? We don't know the answer to this. But we will pick the coolest one, in our opinion. So, Haunted House. Yes, Arcade1Up is going to release Haunted House. There we go. We got some good ones. So we got Star Wars. We got T2, Tales from the Crypt, Addams Family, Twilight Zone. Yes, more are coming in. I can't follow. Indiana Jones would be fantastic. Funhouse. Yes. Terminator 2. Iron Man Pinball. Come on. And you guys get it. And this is what we've been talking about recently, about how an amazing cabinet is going to be like these big franchises. And that's what we believe Arcade1Up can do. Arcade1Up can license to Disney, maybe to Universal, maybe to pick up these big titles, right? These titles. Oh, Back to the Future would be so amazing, right?
Okay.
And yeah, so
what I got, I can't. All right, you guys. This is the gift that keeps on giving. I mean, you guys, it shows how much I love you and how much I appreciate you. It's none other than the game of all games, the creme de la creme, the game you've all been wanting your whole life. Sonic the Hedgehog 2XL, where you try to not collect the rings, which are onion rings. I know you guys are super pumped. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to give that away. It's a total piece of crap. What I am going to give away is Killer, and it kills me that I'd actually give this away. This is where I know I'm crazy because I love this thing. I'm seriously pissed off that Justin made me do this. But I'm totally blaming it on Justin. I'm giving away the Tower of Power.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
This is actually really cool. So Justin better have come up with something cool and not lame.
Okay, so check this out. We have a big list of the people's predictions of Arcade1Up's virtual pinball.
Oh.
And you need to go through the list and see what this group came up with. Because this group knows what's up.
All right, let's see. But we all know I'm partial to Terminator 2, so... Pretty sure it'll be Haunted House.
Yeah, that's you win for losing. No, that was hilarious, dude. No, come on, read it out loud. Make this entertaining. Put on
Okay,
your
the first
retro
one is
Ralph voice.
Haunted House. The second one is Adam's Family.
All right, I'm just kidding. Pac-Man, Street Fighter, Star Wars. That'd be sick. My guess T2 are, Tales from the Crypto or Adam's Family. That would be awesome.
Yep.
Twilight Zone. Yes. Big time, yes. Pinbot. Star Wars Pinball, another one. Iron Man would be cool. Adam's Family, Star Wars. You guys are picking really good pinball games. Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Funhouse. Dude, all these would lots of Funhouse and Iron Man and Star Wars. Elvira, Indiana Jones, Stranger Things. Actually, I've never played the Stranger Things pinball. Fishtails. Kiss, Back to the Future. Back to the Future was pretty cool. Actually, I don't know if you guys have played the new Back to the Future FX. I think it's an FX3 table. It's pretty cool. Although they totally didn't use the real voice actors, which is kind of lame, but I guess they're kind of getting older now.
Hey, Marty.
Yeah, it's all...
It's time to go back to the future.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
Hey, guys.
You got to think fourth dimensionally. All right, Family Guy, Walking Dead, Lethal Weapon, Addams Family. Oh my gosh, you guys picked a lot of really...
Yeah, this is good. This is
gosh.
a hard job. So.
Attack from Mars. Attack from Mars is a great pinball game. Dude, Ghostbusters, Metallica. I'm surprised no one said AC/DC. That's a badass pinball game. If anybody's ever played the Stern AC/DC pinball game, in the back, do you remember when you'd go to like a pizza place? I don't know, maybe this was a back east thing. I don't think so. I think this was everywhere. Remember that you'd go to a pizza place, Justin? You guys had to have these. And there were like mini jukeboxes at your table. Do you ever remember those? And you'd press like...
Absolutely.
Yeah, they were super freaking cool. Like, talk about nostalgia crazy. But in the AC/DC Stern pinball game, it has one of those little jukebox things that were at your table, and it has like a hit AC/DC songs. And when you begin the game, you can pick what song you want to play. If you like AC/DC, it's a super fun pinball game just because of the music alone. But yeah, burger places have those. Yeah, like burger places had them and pizza places had them. They were super cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so who's picking the winner? Because I don't even know what the hell we're doing now.
Well, okay, so I don't know. We're gonna have to come up with a good way to pick a winner. So, you're giving away a really big prize, man, and so it's got to be good, And
but there's a lot of the same titles though. So
I say like the first person that actually picked a title, like if someone else repeated that, like the repeater disqualified themselves.
Oh my God, this is
that's
the worst
that's the only
ever.
fair thing I could think of.
Yeah, Justin, you're not good at this, bud.
I mean, I have my winner in mind, but it's because I'm partial to the title, and it's the one I'm hoping they do.
I think I should make Justin pick it because I don't want to be the bad guy. I want Justin.
All right, I'll be the bad guy. You ready for this?
Yeah. Just because I bad guy doesn't mean I bad guy. All right.
All right. And the winner is Tech Savvy, for the first person that I saw scanned and with the coolest name to pick Star Wars as the pinball. And I'll tell you why. Because part of the entire experience of Arcade1Up is building a game room. And I don't think there's anything cooler than getting a Star Wars cab and then putting a Star Wars pinball next to it. And out of all of the virtual pinball machines, if I was going to have a single title, the Star Wars one, I think, is the one that pulls on my heartstrings the most because of that franchise. And it's of the original trilogy. So say what you want about the new trilogy, but that old trilogy, most of us love that. And I think it's a good bet that Arcade1Up might do that because they have a good relationship with Disney because they already have the Marvel cabinet. They did the Disney cabinet. There's some downsides to make it where maybe it wouldn't happen because, Stern is the maker of the Star Wars cabinet. And so maybe it's hard to get that license, but we were kind of talking about it today. Maybe Ralph, let's share what we were discussing earlier today about the likelihood of Stern's making a deal with Arcade1Up.
Yeah, so
I think you had some really good points.
Yeah, so we were kind of thinking like, all right, they've already got the Star Wars arcade cabinet. So and I was thinking to myself, Stern doesn't seem to have interest in building a 3/4 scale virtual pinball machine. It just doesn't seem like what? Did someone say something funny?
No, I'm just thinking, yeah, because Ric Flair is not interested.
Because Ric Flair was like, "Woo! We're not doing 3/4 scale. Woo!
Been there, done that.
Yeah, been there, done that. Woo! Woo!" It's all crazy. But oh my god, I want to see. Do I still have that guy? Can we just for 1 second see if I have that? Hold on, because that was awesome. Hold on a second. Get out of here, Toy Shark. What the hell are you doing? Get out of here, Toy Shark. All right, I have it somewhere. Oh my gosh, hold on, guys. I gotta pull this up. No, that's not it. That's Brad who needs to trim his beard. But I know I have it somewhere. Damn it! Oh my gosh, I want to show it to you guys so bad because the guy. I did not think so. For those of you guys that might have missed that stream, hold on, I gotta have it in here. What would that have
so
been?
Basically, a couple while he looks for it, a couple streams ago, we were going on and on about the virtual pinball. And we actually showed footage of what I believe was the CEO of Stern talking about they actually ventured into a 3/4 scale virtual. Was it virtual? No, it was.
No, it was a legitimate physical. Yeah, it was a pretty killer system actually.
Right. So they kind of went into that to test the market, and it, maybe it had some success, and we're not really aware of it. But no, like it's available. Is that the same one that's available at Walmart?
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. I swear, I can't pull it up, and it's killing me.
Yeah. So anyway, it's kind of like a different market. We were discussing this under $1,000. Arcade kind of owns that space right now when it comes to very specifically working with a publisher, working with an IP owner. So that's what this would be. It would be Arcade1Up reaching out to a publisher like Stern and saying, "Hey, you built the mechanics and all this for these games." Working with an IP owner, Disney, which they've done already. And, Arcade1Up is very good at doing that and saying, we can build a platform, a revenue stream for you via our system. And we have the distribution already, and we have the technology. We just, need your okay on it and need help with emulation and whatnot. And so they have all the pieces to kind of do a lot of that. And if they're in a boardroom saying like, okay, we're going to do pinball, what title is it going to be? That had to have come up. That had to come up as like, hey, imagine, because the other thing I was thinking about was like, how many pinball machines are we going to buy? All right. Like I have like over 10 Arcade1Up cabinets in my game room. Right. And I'm not going to have 10 pinball machines. I don't know how many people are going to have 10 pinball machines. Right. So I think you might have to have like, you're not going to get those high sales, in my opinion, like the standard cabinets.
Yeah, it's probably going to be more of a platform purchase, maybe. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they do because there's a whole bunch of ways you could make it so that people could update tables. Like if you had a Steam-enabled pinball cabinet, then you could do like a buy like a la carte almost, right? Like you buy the titles a la carte, or you buy them, if you want titles that are Williams tables, and you buy like a Williams table bundle for $20 or whatever. So like that is a way you could do it. That'd be pretty innovative actually if someone did something like that. But I mean, Ric Flair never mentioned anything like that. So
we realized that there were many people who would like to have a pinball in their home, but our commercial games were.
That's actually. Oh wait, the audio probably got really loud. I forgot to kill it. But that's actually the guy. We were doing that live stream.
Look at that though, man. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and I guess I think he's the CEO of Stern, but it was really awesome because we were just like talking and I never thought of him being Ric Flair, and someone's like, dude looks like Ric Flair. And like it stopped the live stream dead because I couldn't stop laughing because it was awesome. But this thing is sick. I mean, this thing is really, really, really cool. Then this was their version 1, and then they just came out with an even cooler Star Wars one.
Right.
But the thing about this is basically the same as a mechanical pinball machine, same quality and everything. It's just a tiny bit scaled down. So it was really neat, but it wasn't really successful actually in the wild. So
right. So we're kind of thinking, take something about that dimensions and size. Could you get something like that, virtual pinball, about the same material as the AtGame? I'm sorry, the Arcade1Up. Throw another screen on it, throw some legs on it, and increase the the CPU.
Yeah,
and
bada bing,
graphics.
Justin. You were very New York
I mean, they
right
could
there.
take them like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
they'll be done.
Throw some legs on it, throw a screen on it, maybe a DMD and some back glass.
That's right. Yeah. So
You
what do
totally
you guys
just
think?
dismissed me right there? Not cool, dude.
All right. So tech savvy
Why
it
ignoring
is,
me?
right? I hope you actually have the Sega Genesis Mini to go along with. That's okay. Ralph will throw that in too.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna give away. No, I'm just kidding. So we got 3 giveaways. I got Michael Kwan, I got Josh McLeod, and I got Tech Savvy. So please email me retroralph1980@gmail, and then I'll get your addresses and try to. I probably won't get it out till Monday, but if I can get it out tomorrow, I will. But Kim's not feeling good, so I don't think we're probably going to be really doing a whole lot this weekend. So, yeah. So that's it.
Good stuff. A good way to wrap up the year here on our podcast, or whatever you want to call this thing that Ralph and I have been doing. And
Well, there's one thing's for sure. We're really good at contests. Number 1 at contests on the internet.
no one can beat us.
No
when
one
it
can beat
comes
us.
to
Oh
No
my
one.
God, we have the best podcast, the best gifts. Totally great at contests. All right.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for joining our crazy live stream here
Huge.
with Retro Ralph. And I think you're supposed to turn the music on right here, right, Ralph?
Huge.
And this is where you heard us.
All right,
We've been
anyways.
talking about CES. And take it away, Ralph.
So anyways, we said it all. We did it all. I know we it was interesting. I'm super glad that I have the music way too loud. I'm super pumped that everyone joined. I have no idea why I'm dressed as Santa. It's like 2 days after Christmas, but I bought this suit to wear it for a video, and I never did, but I wore it today. So if you didn't check it out, the last mod video of the year was Chris that runs the Retrospect. He did this really cool bowling mod. It has an awesome backstory. Check it out because honestly, the story alone is worth watching the video. The mod is amazing, but the story alone is really cool. And I learned a little bit more about Chris and his family and how involved they were with bowling. It's totally crazy. Another very retro thing, right? So that's it. We will be at CES in what, 2 weeks, Justin?
That's right. We can't wait to see you there via this live stream.
Yeah, so we're gonna be there. We're gonna cover it. It's not gonna be It's not gonna be bullshit coverage. We're gonna cover it the right way. So we're gonna have fun. We're gonna actually do
contests every day.
contests every day.
Every day.
Every day. And Justin's going to be like, yeah, we're giving stuff away. And I know how we're going to do it. No, I don't. But anyway, so it's going to be awesome. We're going to have a lot of fun. There'll be other YouTubers there we'll get in the mix and have fun with. And the other one thing I did want to say is we're going to do a no bull thing, though. Like, I really want this CES coverage to be everything. It's going to be a whole bunch of different things. We're going to do a post show every day where we talk about it more in depth, not just the walking around in the booths, even though that is fun. So, anyways.
And we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you what you want to see, so we can cover what you want to see.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much. Thanks, Justin. Thanks, everyone else, for joining and hanging out. We definitely appreciate it. And we will see you on the next one.
Bye-bye. Hey, bye-bye.
Ambient Jam's coming out, by the way.